So Afnan as a house has put out a lot of good stuff in their inspired take lane that they operate in, right? A lot of great fragrances that they've put out. In fact, one of the first ones, as far as when I really started on my fragrance journey in this iteration, was from the House of Afnan, and really just told me what was possible in this space. So I figured I'd give you my top five that I have from Afnan right now, that you may want to check out if you have not already. Some of these might be no-brainers. Some of these you may have overlooked, but I wanted to give you my five. All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, and you are watching SmellGoodz. This is your place for fragrance talk, fragrance conversation. Figure out how to stay safe, stay sane, and stay smelling good. See how I work that in? All right. So, yeah, just as far as my recap of my fragrance journey, been loving fragrances from early on, right? In fact, I remember the very first bottle of cologne or fragrance that I had was called Rookie by Avon. Yeah, I'll see if I can put a picture of it right there. That was the very first thing. It wasn't even a spray bottle. It was literally one of those dab it on your hand and then do all that stuff, right? Like 12 years old, 10 years old, but acting grown, right? So that was my first iteration, if you will, as far as fragrance. Watch my stepdad as far as stuff that he would wear. He was a gray flannel, polo green, English leather, those type of things, right? As I got older, I as far as fragrances, I would get them occasionally, what have you. I was not in the space that I'm in right now as far as being an enthusiast, being a collector, and now even a content creator regarding it. But when I put nose on Afnan 9 p.m., it was like, oh, there's some things here. And that just opened up a whole new world for me, right? So I figured it's time to kind of pay homage to it and give you the top five from Afnan that I have in my collection. All right, these are in order. I think I've got a total of 8 or 9 of them, but I'm just going to give you my top 5. All right, and yes, these are in order of least favorite to most favorite, but even my least favorite is not saying a whole lot, because even the one that's number 6 still has some things to bring to the table. All right, so let's just go with it. We'll flow with it. First up, number 5 for me is a 9 p.m., but it's the 9 p.m. Rebel. 9 p.m. Rebel. This isn't necessarily inspired by anything specifically, but there are DNAs in here that I think we can pull out and say we could see kind of where this was as far as a mashup. This comes off to me as a somewhat of a mashup between a Creed Aventus DNA and a BR540 DNA, right? In fact, really what you want to, if you want to know what this, if this could be a clone of anything or an inspired by it of anything, would be, because it came out first, the Kayed Al Farsan black bottle from Lattafa. In fact, the first time I smelled this, I was like, that's almost what that is. But this does it in a really nice way. This does that whole thing in a nice, bold, fresh, not fresh as in fresh, but in a nice way. The fruitiness of this, the tanginess of this. Yeah, this is my number 5 fragrance from Afnan, and this is the 9 p.m. Rebel. 9 p.m. Rebel. All right. My number 4 from Afnan is going to be the Afnan Turathi Blue. So this is their take on Tigar by Bulgari. Pretty good job of it. Performance is good. All of the things that I would look for in this are really good. So to say it's number 4 is not saying that it's bad. It's just, of the other 3 things that are topping it for me, they just kind of top it a little more. If I'm honest, Tigar and even the one that's coming up a little later, they move me, but they don't move me, if that makes sense, right? So Tigar as a fragrance is a great fragrance, but it's not anything I'm like, gotta have it, right? It is a really nice fragrance that I think is done very well, but it doesn't move me. But this one is a good take on it, and definitely something that I'm enjoying, something that really works for this time of year, spring, summer, I should say. And so that makes this my number 4 choice from Afnan. This is Turathi Blue. All right. Next one up, let me kind of get that over there, Next one up is another blue fragrance, but this one is from Afnan, of course. This is 9 a.m. Dive. Now, for me, this is just why this is my number 3. This is a workhorse fragrance for me. This is a fragrance that just, it works in a variety of situations. It works in a variety of things. This is a blue fragrance, as it were. This is not, again, an inspired take of anything, but I often describe it as if Bleu de Chanel and Invictus and even YSL kind of left their DNA on each other. This is kind of what you might come up with. It's kind of that, it's just a solid blue fragrance. And when I'm thinking of things that are, from the House of Afnan that I want, that are just going to be, one, do what they do and do well and work in the situation that they work in, yes, but also something that's just going to be a good workhorse blue fragrance that's going to be very versatile. This does it. Yeah. So my number 3 is going to be 9 a.m. Dive. 9 a.m. Dive. All right. Which brings us to number 2. Number 2 is new in the collection, but I'm really, really enjoying this, really feeling this, and is one that, this, before I got this, there was another one from a different brand that was just like my summer release fragrance that was just like, I'm wearing it a lot. But I find myself reaching for this. I've only had this for a couple of weeks, like I said, and I'm already starting to, make some headway with this. But this is Turathi Electric. This is their take on Blue Talisman. And this is, in my opinion, probably more closer than Art of Universe. Art of Universe, especially in, as it's macerating, it's, spent more time with it. It's a little sweeter than Blue Talisman. This is not as sweet as Art of Universe. Find a little closer to that DNA. Again, not a one-to-one. Nothing's going to be a one-to-one pretty much. But as far as from the House of Afnan and the fragrance that I'm digging right now, number 2, this is Turathi Electric. All right, and then my last one is, listen, no need for a drum roll, no need for any expectation, what is it? If you know the House of Afnan and you've been on this channel anytime recently, you'll know that this right here, this takes it. This is my fragrance from Afnan. This is the one that probably will end up being a backup bottle, having a backup bottle to go along with it. Because this gets worn. This is my work fragrance. This is my going out shopping fragrance. This is a fragrance that I will easily reach for just when I want this smell. Yes, it is a take on and a twist, if you will, on Absolute Ventus. Does a great job of it. But this is my number 1. Now, you'll notice though, something's missing. Something did not make the top 5. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 9 p.m. Let me grab it real quick. Got a lot of stuff on my desk. So this one right here didn't make the top 5. This probably sits at number 6. All right. The reason I say that is, for me, as much as I appreciate this, as much as I refer to this as one of the fragrances that, if I'm honest, would replace the OG completely for me, I don't see a need to get the OG with this. Again, I'll never tell you to not purchase an OG fragrance. I'm just saying, for me, for Kevin, for SmellGoodz, if I had to choose one and I could only have one, I'm choosing this, right? But if I'm honest, also, this, especially where I am in my life and in my space and where I am in things of that nature, it leans a little young for me, right? Doesn't mean I may not break it out every now and then, but for that reason, it's not necessarily my top 5 anymore, because it's not one that I easily reach for from the House of Afnan. It is one that I may grab occasionally, but there's 5 others that I do reach for a little more than this one. So that kind of explains why, if you were looking for, you've been around the channel for a while and you knew how I felt about 9 p.m., that explains it. All right, that's it. Just want to kind of give a ranking of my Afnan fragrances, let you know what I thought. Do me the favor, of course, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notification, share, check out the videos, and meet me in the comments. And I think that's it. See you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace.